that is actually floating. Yeah, let me show you. Isn't that just amazing? Welcome back, viewers. We're looking at 2 years of the Buhari presidency, and we're also looking at Nigeria in general. And I'm pleased to inform you that we have in Abuja Aisha Yesufu, a co-convener of BBOG, the group who've been campaigning for the return of the missing Chibok girls. She's joining us via Skype. Aisha, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, that's
thank you.
Fantastic. And we've got joining us in the studio. First, we want to thank Fawehinmi, who was with us in the first half of the program. But joining us in the studio, we've got Laureta Onochie, who is the essay to the Nigerian president on media, social media. I might get that wrong. She will correct me if I'm wrong. So welcome, Laureta.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here.
Thank you. Come, first, straight question. Each time we invite people in the presidency, Femi Adesina, Garba, Shehu, mention all of them, they seem to be too shy to come. They prefer a comfortable program where they could be asked patronizing questions. You decided you're going to come. What made the difference?
Well, the presidency supported me to be here.
Okay.
So it's not really totally correct that they are looking for where they ask them comfortable questions. Okay. There are no comfortable questions when you are in government.
Okay, and I want to, there's this allegation. People said you've been the most vitriolic spokesperson from the presidency, aside from Femi Adesina, that you're not different from Reno Mokri, you're abusive, anything, no one can have any dissenting voice against the president. You would abuse them, and it's unbecoming of someone who speaks for the president or who is in the presidency. Is that correct?
That couldn't be further from the truth. The problem is that the way we are raised back home, many of us cannot decipher the difference between abuse and speaking the truth the way it is. Some of us are not used to being told the truth to their faces. We are used to people, you know, dancing to whatever we have to say and just tagging along. But that's not me. Okay. I say things the way they are.
Okay, now let me ask you directly now, because our other guests have had a lot of time. 2 years in the Buhari presidency, what would you say are the achievements? 2 years.
2 years, it has been a period of ups and downs, because you know, looking at where we are coming from an era where corruption held sway in our nation, where some parts of our nation was under the occupation of some members of the Boko Haram. We are coming from an era where we were steeply divided, and jobs were nowhere to be found. We were coming from an era where people would graduate for 10 years and they had no jobs. You know, so there's just no way it's going to be an easy task. But the Buhari administration is doing all they can. Jobs are being created. Insurgency is under control. The economy is growing. So I think for me, I will give this government a good pass mark.
Rosanwo, that's it there. The insurgency is on the back foot. A lot of damage has been done. They are trying their best. It's not an easy job.
I disagree with her totally.
Well,
from the first one when she said, oh, she's been a nice person on the PA. Also, you hold the public office. You're being paid.
I don't want it to be.
I need to be clear. Yeah. You're being paid by taxpayers. Okay. So if I can compare Madame Laureta, I'll compare to Doyin Okupe under Jonathan. Yeah. I've seen your tweets. I've seen your personal opinion articles written against citizens, especially the one you wrote against Aisha. And something needs to be clear. You are paid by public funds. You serve the people. It's not the other way around. People, citizens have a right to demand heaven and earth from their government. It is your duty to explain to them and keep explaining to them and saying, this is what we're doing. If you're not satisfied, we will do more.
Okay.
Not everybody earns. I mean, I don't know how much PAs earn, but I'm sure you earn over some 300,000.
I would like to say that I am a Nigerian. I would like to let you know I would like to say that even as a PA, I am still a Nigerian, and I have a right to air my opinion, and nobody is going to stop me from doing that.
When you become a PA to the president, I need to correct this. Yeah. We need to be clear about
No, we need to be clear that I will still speak for myself as a Nigerian.
By taxpayers.
No, I cannot be intimidated into silence because I am a PA to the president. That is not going to happen. It's never going to happen.
There's no respect.
You can hear Aisha.
It's never going to happen.
Okay,
it's never going to happen.
Can we have Aisha come in here? Aisha?
Yes.
If you're there, and I know that there's been some issues about the reaction to the video you posted online, do you feel that the reaction of the presidency to some of the criticism has been fair? And if they have not been fair, what can be done to improve the relationship between those who hold dissenting voice and that of people in government?
Well, for me, I think I don't want to join issues with anybody. You know, they say birds of the same feathers flock together and think the same way. I'm an employer, and I know that my employees, even if they will want to defend me in whatever way, because they're trying to, you know, protect their jobs, and at the same time they will feel that maybe probably that's the way I would want it. So for me, certain issues, I don't have issues with them. And then when it comes to the issue of the presidency, when citizens put out their words and tell them that this is what is wrong, what they need to do is to look into it and say, okay, where can we be better? For me as a person, when somebody criticizes me, what it says to me is that work on those things that are wrong. When you add them to where you are doing well, you will become better. Let's not forget that pass mark is from E to A. So because you've gotten an E, it's pass mark, and you're okay with it, doesn't mean that somebody who wants an A shouldn't be allowed to have the environment to have an A. So for me, basically that's it. And this issue, you know, you keep hearing of issue of people saying that, oh, people are looking for appointments. I think there is a need for those in government to understand that there is money to be made out of government, a whole lot of money. There are people who are trading, who are business women and men. And so not everybody wants an appointment. But I do understand from the point of view of an employee, it's all about appointment.
Now, let me bring in Laureta. Yeah, Laureta, and I know how, I must say, I know how difficult it is when you're in, I've never been in government, but having been firing government, successive government in a long time, I know how sometimes when you're there in that part, you see it differently. How difficult is it within government? What can people who want to, what part of the criticism and what angle is it, how does it become difficult for people in government to now say, oh, this is beyond criticism, this is personal, this does far no more? What areas?
I would like to start by saying that the government of any nation belongs to the people. So the people have a right to criticize their government. So I think we need to get that clear. But when you criticize just because you want to criticize, that means because you have something personal. It's not in the interest of the nation, personal against the nation. Let me take Aisha's, whether she wants to join issues with me or not, we are joining issues here, so we are not going to run away from it. She started running a campaign with other people, Bring Back Our Girls. You and I joined in the UK here with that same campaign under a government that was not even ready to accept that the girls were missing. The whole world pulled together behind that campaign. And months later, or over a year later, another government came in. A government that was receptive to the campaign of the Bring Back Our Girls. A government that vowed to bring back the girls. A government that supported that same campaign. A government that decided long before they came in that they would do everything within their power once they were elected to bring back not just these Chibok girls, but also hundreds of thousands of people that were taken into captivity that we didn't even know of. And this government has been working and they have been bringing back the girls. Other people who were in captivity are coming back home. Then what do we want? What we needed, what I needed to hear, and what most Nigerians are saying is that it's okay to say, thank you, you have brought back some of these girls, but we need you to carry on working hard.
Okay.
So that's where we draw the line. The line.
Okay.
If you are going to criticize somebody, if you are going to criticize your government, criticize it for what it has not done or what it is not doing at all.
Okay.
Not when it does a little, say thank you, and then you go ahead and say, because I know I had the same issue with Buki.
Yeah.
You know, I had the same issue with Buki. I went to her tweet and I corrected her.
Okay.
She didn't take the correction. She went on Facebook and did more. Okay, and then I called her attention to it, and eventually she came and apologized. She took it on board.
Okay,
but there are some people who just want to criticize for the sake of
let me bring in a citizen here. David is in London. Hello, good evening, David. Hello, David, are you there? Have I lost my caller? Okay.
Hello, yeah.
Yeah, David, now, you're a citizen. You're not in politics. You're not a social critic. And you're just a citizen, I assume, a Nigerian citizen. How do you feel watching this?
Yeah. From what I observe, I'm talking to Laureta.
Okay. She can hear you.
Listening to her and watching the way she acts, I don't think he has the right temperament to hold a public office. You need to be schooled in the heart of respect for fellow women.
Yeah.
It is more of an attack dog than a civil servant than somebody working for the people. She's being paid by taxpayers.
Hey, they keep talking about pay.
Okay.
She's being paid by millions of people in Nigeria. She needs to show respect.
Okay.
Either on the other in the office or to a fellow human being.
Okay, David,
I don't like it.
Okay, I get that point. You don't like that. Now let me bring in Aisha here. Aisha, are you still there?
I'm here.
Now, Aisha, because I know whatever side we belong, Nigeria is a country that we all want to grow. And I believe that whatever differences in opinion, what can be done differently? I want specifics. What can we do as a people? What can the government, what are they not doing right now that can be corrected, in your opinion? And I just want us to move away from this issue of this person is doing this. And the BBOG, and the criticism, and there are quite some criticism against it, that the BBOG is metamorphosing into an anti-Buhari campaign group. Do you? There are quite a number of people who say that, but they might be the pro-Buhari group. Even that criticism, how are you handling it as an organization?
As an organization, BBOG has been clear. BBOG is administration neutral. BBOG is apolitical. It doesn't do politics. BBOG consists of people. Like earlier on, for me, first of all, I want to say that I don't like the fact that Buki's name was brought into this because she's not here to defend herself. Yeah, sure. So please, we shouldn't do that anymore.
Yeah, and I
corrected the people on what they say. Laureta says she's a PA, and that doesn't make her not to express her own opinion. I agree with her. She can express her own opinion. She should understand that there are people who are members of Bring Back Our Girls that equally have their own opinion. Let me tell you something, Kayode. I'm here in Nigeria like that. Do you see the light behind me? I'm the one providing this light. At this moment, in terms of electricity, I'm my own government. My son is in UK. He's schooling in UK. I sent my son to England when he was 14. Do you know the reason why I sent my son to England? Because my son is dyslexic. And here in Nigeria, there are no schools to take care of my son. So you can imagine a whole lot of other children the way they are. I think we need to understand something, that we do not use our own circumstances in life. If we are comfortable and then we say everything is okay. There needs to be reform in educational sector. Kayode, if you are here, you see the social media, you see how many people we are always looking for, they are suffering from cancer. A guy died the other day from liver cancer. Before the money could be gotten, he had died. How many cancer centers do we have here? If you have, for you to even get tests, even mammogram being done, sometimes they put you on a waiting list for 6, 7, 8, 9 months. This is what we are talking about. What we are reforming the educational sector, reforming the civil service. Employment must be made not based on who you know or what long leg you have, but based on the fact that based on competence, based on character, based on capacity. There are a whole lot of reforms, and that's why we are saying Nigeria is a place where we need lots of reforms. So it's more about posting around.
Aisha, hold on. Rosanwo,
I need to address this issue once and for all.
And I want us to move away from this.
It's quite important, and it's about governance. Government is a continuum. So whether Jonathan messed up or did not perform well, when Buhari took over, he took over the whole responsibilities, the liabilities, and everything. It's actually a shame that a majority of the people, some in government, were also in the opposition at one point or another, including Laureta, including myself. The same things you complained about, the same thing you used against Jonathan, are exactly the same things you're fighting against. When it suited you, when BBOG was fighting Jonathan's government, you supported BBOG. What? For your own selfish interest, thinking you would use it on the back to get into governance. You got into government, you expected BBOG to step down. There's nothing wrong with BBOG changes into an anti-government, as long as it's not a terrorist organization or not. That's one. The second thing is this. You're talking about reforms. Reforms will be done by the people appointed by the president. I'm sorry if the people like Laureta are applied, the ones in this government, working with the government to run these reforms with this attitude towards citizens, there will be no reform. I can put it to Laureta on this live TV. How much does she earn as a PA? How much does government pay her? I'm challenging her to come open. If that's the average minimum wage Nigerians earn, you're talking with this. It's painful because you were in a position. No, you don't earn minimum wage.
No, you said minimum wage.
How much do you earn? Do you earn minimum wage as a PA?
That is not what is here.
No, but you're a public civil servant. You see, this is part of it.
No, it's not.
You have no regards for us as citizens.
We cannot question you. You are not here to discuss. If you talk about salary, then I shouldn't have taken the job. I should not have taken the job.
Can you tell us how much you earn?
I shouldn't have taken it.
Would you tell us? Are you paid by private funds or by public funds, which is Nigeria's money?
It's not about my salary. So you now understand why people think it's about the appointment. You now understand why many people think that this bitterness is about appointment.
It's about transparency. That was what Buhari promised when he was campaigning. He said that.
Okay, now both of you, I want to bring in Gazama in London.
You're not open.
No,
transparency.
No, you are so transparent. Nigerians can now see. And the
can
people
you tell us how much you all get paid?
That's not what we are here to discuss.
No, that's not what
we are here to discuss.
It's difficult.
It's yours is about appointment. So it's about appointment.
You had the same thing for Jonathan. But we cannot argue the same.
Did you vote for me?
You work for the government.
Did you elect me?
You serve my government.
Did you vote for me? Did you elect me?
It's impossible.
Did you elect me?
Hello, Gazama, please go ahead, please.
I never knew you would be
Hello.
so bitter
Hello.
about this appointment.
Hello, Kayode.
Gazama, please hold on. Let me.
About this appointment.
Rosa, can we have the caller, please? Hello, good evening, Gazama.
Yeah, good evening, Kayode. I just want to
Neither can I.
make a contribution a bit.
Go ahead, Gazama.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I want to commend Laureta for what she has done. Honestly, I knew her right from here. She spent a lot, and not many, is being given to her in that villa. I can confirm it to you. So people should stop calling and say she does not have the temperament of holding her. What is the criteria? Didn't Fawehinmi say the girls were missing? Didn't Goodluck Jonathan kept quiet? And then when his wife was shedding crocodile tears? You understand? So I don't know why people are attacking her. For Aisha, she knows that where she went, it was a no-go area. In the area she lives, if we are going to say the truth, this man is sick. At this time, people are expecting prayer and nothing more. And then when it is time, the National Assembly is there to do that. For coming out to say that he should leave, do you know what people are saying? They say, no, Aisha is anti-Buhari because naturally she is from Edo, so she is sympathetic to Jonathan and not Buhari. And this woman This very woman, she's an Igbo woman. So
okay,
she is
let's
Gazam,
let me just say this before we go on a short break.
Okay, sir.
And I want to thank you for your call. Aisha is still on the line. I just want to say that we will take a short break, and this is just to cool everything down. This is NEPA in Nigeria, and I hope my producer will get the right clip. NEPA, which is the electricity board, they used to call them NEPA, like let's say, is it EDS, we call them here. The electricity board went to disconnect electricity in a private home, and you can't believe what happened right there in Nigeria, Southeast Nigeria. Watch this clip. When we come back, hopefully we'll have supplied our guests with some cold water, and then we'll now come back to the main issues and move away from the personal issues. Don't go away. The issues now. Viewers, you're welcome back. It was a bit hot in the studio, but now we've been able to just calm things out down a bit. You know, there's a lot of passion in Nigeria, irrespective of whatever side we're looking at it from. Nigeria is quite a country that it's quite difficult to explain things, and sometimes we just need to hear ourselves talk to one another. Now, Laureta is still here in the studio, and I want to ask again, Laureta, in the area of electricity, Nigerians, I'm not sure if Nigerians say they've seen improvement. What is government doing about it? In the economy, what is happening in the area of the economy, youth, sport, and unemployment? What is going on? We want to know specifics about what's happening so far.
Like I said, and there's no way I will not continue to harp on it. When you inherit a dilapidated structure, it will take time to, to start to clear the mess first, and then begin to build on it. We are not babies. It's only babies that want, I remember I had a little cousin who would take some grains of corn when we were little. She will go and plant it at the backyard. The next morning, she will want, she will run back to me and say, it hasn't, there's nothing, it has not germinated. And then she, she goes to dig it up, to look at it, and then I ask her to put it back in the ground.
Okay.
So most of these things are going to take time. They are taking time. This is just, we have a lot of people are, well, not a lot of people, but some people are looking at this government as if it's been here for the past 3, 4, 5 years. It has 4 years, and we are just halfway.
Okay.
It has 4 years.
Now,
and I will tell you, like in Abuja, the area I live, electricity has improved. No, for 3 clear days before I arrived here, electricity was not touched. Okay. So I'm not saying that that is how it is across the nation. Country, Where I come from, the Anioma area, for 10 years, we had no light. Okay. But gradually, electricity is returning there, and people are testifying to it.
Now, Aisha, if you're still there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Aisha, I've been running a poll on social media, and I just want to read this out, and I think our viewers, our guests would see into this. And now, this show has been going on for, this poll, I asked 2 years countdown to May 29, Democracy Day. How would you rate the performance of Nigerian President Buhari in 2 years? And out of 1,802 people that are voting so far, 52% think Buhari is doing fairly well. 21% of 1,800 people think is doing very well. Only 27% think is doing very badly. it does not represent the views some of you have actually said on this program. And if people are accusing me that these are Buhari supporters, I'll still bring out another vote where the same people make claims about ministers in Buhari's government. So is it that social critics or people who genuinely think this government are not listening, is it that they're a bit detached from the people, or they're not representative of how the people feel governance is going?
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, there are two things I just want to say here, two quotes. One is to say that yesterday died last night, so can we keep yesterday where it is and move on with today?
Yeah.
And then Jimron said, if what you did yesterday is still looking big to you today, then that means you're not doing enough.
Okay.
In saying that, earlier on when we talk about insecurity, I did tell you, for me, I'm the kind of person who says it as it is. If it's good, it's good. But the problem is that when you say the good things, some people just deliberately unhear. Okay. When you criticize, then they have all the ears to hear. So for some of us, what do we say about the earlier when we spoke on the issue of insecurity? I did tell you how this administration had degraded insecurity in the Northeast. And I pointed out to you there were still insecurity in other places. And so that's the way it is. So it depends on where you are looking for. It's just that when you talk about something that it's not working well, and then people say, oh, why have you said this? When you talk about what is working right, people come to you and say, oh, you are APC, apology. Some say you are PDP this. I don't care about that. What I say now, let's focus on the issue. Okay, now, right now, like I told you earlier on, I'm coming, Kayode. Like I told you earlier on, my generator is on. I know how much I spend on diesel to be able to have electricity. And if we want businesses to grow in this country, I'm a trader. If we want employment, we must empower small businesses. And by getting electricity right, we must do that. Let me tell you something again. Since the other ones are busy, let me do the work for the government. If in terms of improvement, like you talk of agriculture, I thought that was one thing that we'll talk about here, because we see a lot of farmers who are extremely happy. Their produce is selling. I went on the other day, I mean, the farmers are sort of like the big boys. But then at the same time, you see a lot of traders who were affected by the forex. By the forest, all the things they have in the forest. So when you talk to different people, they have different things to talk about. So that the fact that now is good doesn't mean that later, when it's not good, we not talk about it. And when we say something is not good, doesn't mean the other time when we see something good, we'll not talk about it. The thing is that the government should take everything on board.
Okay, Aisha, let me I've got a caller from Germany, and people, it's gone. Look, I've seen people calling me from Spain. You're calling the wrong number. That number you're calling is text message, and I've seen calls from Ireland, Spain, and then Germany, and 3 calls from Nigeria. Call the studio line. Rosanwo, the polls do not agree with some of the things you guys are saying. Almost 80% of those polls think Buhari is doing very well.
First and foremost, your Twitter poll is not a true reflection of this.
It's not, but
of Nigeria. It's not a true reflection of the population. If we break it down, we don't know how many men, women based on location. And we know internet access in Nigeria is concentrated in certain areas of Nigeria. So please put your poll aside. Now, I want to go to government.
I'm in control.
Okay, can I talk without Laureta? Can I express my opinion without the government official jumping in? When you were talking, I was very calm.
I'm the one.
I'm the one. You cannot force your opinion.
I'm not forcing it.
Can I give you my opinion?
No, I'm not forcing it. I just want to correct you that you can't put the poll aside.
I want to refer to government data. I don't want to use your opinion poll. Your opinion poll is irrelevant in this discussion. What is relevant is the data released by the Nigerian government
now tell us about
in the last 3 days. So you've had the last quarter report by the Nigerian Statistical, I can't remember the word about, but the data. I mean, the data shows that the economy shrunk in the last quarter. It's released by government, not by me. So it's not your poll I'm following.
And the data also says that the country is coming out of recession.
Yes, it is coming out of recession, which was avoidable in the first place. If
and
the president
in agriculture, it's not in every area that is.
Can we keep quiet for the government official?
Yeah, go ahead. So
would we have to keep quiet for?
No, go ahead.
Somebody is really angry about this government.
Government officials. This is. And again, it goes back.
You were talking about the government data.
It goes back to the government data. If the government data shows an indication that we're moving on, but we're still in that negative aspect, I find it odd that some would come and say, oh, we're out of it. Now, you want to go sector by sector. Let's be realistic. security, the government's pushed back well. But the issue of Fulani herdsmen has been, there's been a quiet tone about it. And there's a lot of question. Is it because the president is a Fulani? That's one. Two, the issue of the Niger Delta and the Southeast. The issue of, we've had soldiers molest, harass the Biafra protesters. Unprovoked, the video was clear. What's the position of the government on that? A school in Lagos, kids are being kidnapped. What's the position? You see, it's not, I don't understand how you sit for an exam and you decide to write an exam and pass yourself by the exam. It is the citizens that who would give you the feedback.
The only problem I have with that is that the rights of the citizens who think the government is not doing well should be respected as well as the rights of those
who think the government data.
Let me bring Joshua.
You are missing it. The government data produced by me.
No, I'm just saying that in as much as the rights of those who do not think the government is doing well should be protected as well as the rights of those who
I am not opposing. The government data shows that the economy is still in negative.
Let me bring in Joshua.
Is that my data?
Yes, everybody knows that. Everybody, but we are getting out in the next
let me bring in Joshua. Good evening, Joshua. Hello, Joshua, are you there?
Yes, thank you for... let me start by saying that the advisor there should understand that the benefits and dividends of democracy should largely go to the people, not to the few ones. I am surprised to hear from her that electricity is functional, is working at our area. They're not working around the small people around Abuja, Kaduna, and many other places. The people benefiting from the good things of democracy in Nigeria are usually people like the advisor. But let me quickly go to another area I want to take her on. Can the advisor tell Nigerians in diaspora here what exactly is going on with the news report that the vice president, IBB, and some other people are involved in clearing Kano State governor and Kano State House of Assembly not to probe the former governor of Central Bank.
All right, thank you, Joshua. Can you let me? The question
I didn't quite get that.
The question is asking is there's been these publications that the vice president and quite a number of people were involved in getting the Kano Assembly not to probe the Emir of Kano over misappropriation of funds.
Well, I read it just like any other person. And the presidency has not said anything because let me tell you there are a lot of false information going on there. I'm not the spokesperson to the acting president, neither am I to the president, but I just saw it just like any other person, and I cannot react unless the acting president spokesperson reacts.
Okay, now I want to bring us back to Aisha. I want to bring Aisha back into this conversation. Aisha, if you're still there, let me ask in the area you mentioned agriculture, and I think that is quite key and that is quite important. And you also mentioned the fact that the improvement in security is not well spread out in some parts of the country. Can you mention those areas?
We have the full, sorry, I think I was corrected at a meeting that you shouldn't use that. Let's call them killer headsmen.
Okay.
So we have killer headsmen, just killing people all over the place. A few weeks ago, a mosque in Niger State was attacked and 20 people were killed in the mosque. In Taraba State, people were attacked. Southern Kaduna, attacks going on. Delta State, again, the other day, experienced attacks where people came in my own place, Edo State, Esako West local government, they have been attacked. And in talking about insecurity, just yesterday, or day before yesterday, a school was children were abducted from school. Like I said earlier, that's a Chibok happening all over again. That's insecurity. You have a lot of kidnappings. You have them on social media. You have children missing all the time. You have people looking. So what are we doing about that? The primary responsibility of government is the protection of lives and property. And in doing that, they are not doing Nigerians a favor. It is Nigerians' right as enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Aisha, let's go to Ireland before Rosanwo comes comes in. And I've got a caller from Ireland. Babsy, good evening. Hello, good evening, Babsy. Hello, are you still there? Okay.
Hello, hi.
Yeah, go ahead. Quickly, please, I can hear you.
Hello?
Hello, go ahead, please.
Yes, please. I just want to contribute in the area of electricity.
Go ahead.
Yes, please. I just want to contribute to the area of electricity in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
And here in Ireland or overseas, where we are in the diaspora, as you can see that the way the white people do coordinate their electricity is totally different from the way we coordinate our electricity. Okay. Everything goes underground and we're installed in Nigeria, in the Western world. But in Nigeria, everything is just out of place. Okay. We prefer to buy diesel, like the lady was saying on the few minutes ago. That we prefer to buy diesel. Okay. She prefer to send her children to Europe to study. But the truth is, if we put the money that we are using for diesel and to generate the electricity and put the money together and use it to pay NEPA, where we don't have a perfect electricity system in Nigeria.
Okay, I'll let Laureta go to that question, but first, Rosanwo, Rosanwo, first, don't let me take away. You want something?
So let's look at it this way. Yeah. The country was in a bad shape when the government took over. Yeah. There's no doubt. I campaigned and I supported Jonathan. I mean, I supported Buhari and I wanted Jonathan out. That's gone. See, Buhari knew what he was taking over. He knew how the shape. We had an idea of what was at stake. Yeah. So let's get that out of. Yeah, Jonathan is gone. The anti-corruption, whatever, is going on. But there are two fundamental questions that's plagued Nigerian governance structure over the years, and that's the issue of transparency and accountability. How transparent and accountable is this government? Okay. The Babachia saga, how long it dragged for, the same president. So because I campaigned for the president, I saw the old manifesto, we knew what we promised. Transparency of every dime earned by appointed political appointees, things that were promised. These are things that would convince the citizens. What foundation are we laying? I'm not asking Buhari to solve Nigeria's problem in 4 years. What we are asking is, what is the significant change? What is the foundation you're laying? That's my question to Laureta.
Okay,
before no longer personal, Nigeria belongs to all of us.
You have just asked the question. That you wanted my salary.
Okay, now
now you are asking the questions, then I will answer you.
I'll just give you why Nigerians are asking.
No. So I started when I started speaking. I started in the area of insecurity, which was prevalent, particularly. It was across the nation. It wasn't just, we had it in the Niger Delta, we had it in the Southwest, we had it in the Northeast. The issue of insecurity we inherited was across the nation. But I would say that more gains have been made, particularly in the Southeast, where thousands of Nigerians whose villages were sacked are now back home, where children who had not been to school for over 3 years are back in schools, where people are now back to their ancestral homes and are engaging in farming, in fishing and supporting their families. They are getting back their lives. You know, these are things that
the issue of transparency.
These are the things. No, I'm starting from there. Yeah. I will get to that. These are the things you and I take for granted. You wake up in the morning, you are safe, and nothing has happened to where you live. You go to work, your children go to school. But some children in our nation, they were in captivity for years until this government came along. And then we now come to the issue of
transparency, public officers making.
Yes, we now we have the TSA. The TSA has ensured that there's just one single account. Yeah. It's no longer where the NNPC will own like 50 different accounts, and you know every director in NNPC had his or her own account where they just took the money and squandered as they wanted. So that is That is one. And then there's also the issue of ensuring working together, that like the Ministry of Finance, if there's a contract to be awarded, you know, there are a lot of people involved, so that it's not just one person awarding the contract. There are so many things that the government has put in place.
Okay, I'll quickly, because we've got 5 minutes.
The area I will not speak on, maybe that's why I'm struggling a bit, is about the suspended. Yes, I will.
Okay,
it's not my place because it's still under investigation. So I will not go into that area.
We've got 5 minutes to go, but I'm going to read out some text messages. Tola in London says Laureta is not in a position to assert how citizens should decide to criticize the government.
No, I never said so. I always said they have a right.
Rosanwo gets a bit too personal. Well, these are some of the some of these mails you guys are sending is a bit too hard to read on.
No, read them.
Okay, I've got someone from Spain. Says this present administration hasn't done enough based on the facts. Let's call a spade a spade. Buhari administration is based on propaganda and lies. And then, Laureta, there is actually this poll. Majority of those polled feel, almost 65% thinks Information Minister Lai Mohammed is not doing well, and they don't feel the government's information strategy is connecting with the people. Is this a criticism you take on board?
I don't think so. You know why I will not take it on board? The issue is that when something happens in the presidency and we come out truthfully and tell people what is going on, some of them have a preconceived notion or idea of what they think is really happening. So unless we say what they want us to say, then they do not think we are speaking the truth.
Aisha, before we let you go, any last word?
Yeah, absolutely. I have something here. I want to say that the greatest injustice in Nigeria is the lack of access to good quality education by all. Today we have a phenomenon that for me, I fear for it. In the next future, we are going to have citizens that are adults that never met together as children, never related with each other. Because right now, schools are based on the economic status of parents. Rich parents have their children together in one place. Poor parents have their children together in one place where they do not have access to good quality education. If we really want this country to move forward, I think the government, we all need to work together with the people to ensure we begin to have massive, drastic reform in education. Health sector, the same thing. There are so many things that we need to work on, and we need to come together and do that. Enough of the excuses. Excuses are like shoes, and you always find the one that fits. Let me tell you something about transparency, Kayode, so that probably Laureta will take something from there. When the swap, when the 82 Chibok girls were negotiated for and brought back, the presidency, federal government came out and said that there was a swap in that thing. Did you see how that diffused everything? It didn't bring all the talk of conspiracy theory people will be talking about, because it was truthful. It came out and it said to the people, this is what we did to get this. And I think that's what the federal government needs to do, to be open, to be transparent, listen to citizens when we tell enough of excuses.
Thank you so much, Aisha and Rosanwo, because I want I've got 60 seconds.
No, you can't call me short on this.
There's two things.
I'm going to respond to the first thing. So if people think it's passionate and personal as Laureta takes it, you know, the most painful thing is the same people you worked with for change, when they get into government and they become the same monsters we asked to get out of government under Jonathan, it will be passionate and it will be personal, and it will be personal for me. That's one. On the second issue of governance, we need to be clear. Some see Mr. President as a god. Some see him as their father. Some see him from a religious perspective. We see him as from a citizen's perspective. He is the president. If we at a point in time are not satisfied with it, we feel we should be able to ask him to resign.
Okay, Laureta, Adeola Ojo feels that you took the issue of your salary a bit too personal, and that they think you actually need to engage more well, I wouldn't want to quote what she said, but she thinks you took it a bit personal, and that the presidency needs to be more transparent.
Oh, the presidency is very transparent. the presidency is very true. There's nothing we do that we do not tell Nigerians. When the president was traveling to the UK the first time for his checkup, he told the Senate, he told Nigerians, and when he needed an extension, he told them. And when he just a day before he came back, he also told Nigerians he was coming back. Everything is about transparency in this government. But the problem is that when some people have made up their mind, no matter what you say, they are still going to, like some people would like me to sit down here and say to them, the president, either has passed on as they have been wishing. But that is not the truth. And so unless you say that to them, then they are not happy.
Okay, and lastly, viewers, we just want to thank you for, we wish we had 3 hours, but it's been an interesting program. I want to especially thank Laureta because the presidency, they've been running away from this program. Thank you for coming on the program. We appreciate it really. Rosanwo, Babatunde, thank you so much for your contribution. And Aisha and Feyi, Fawehinmi, we appreciate you coming on the program. See you next month. My name is Kayode Ogundamisi, and thanks to all the production team, Ushe, Tony, Rosemary Ajayi, and Toby. You're just also wonderful for making this program a success. And Chairman Alistair Kayode, enjoy Nigeria. See you next month. God bless Nigeria. We'll have interviews and we'll also have live phone calls so that it's a conversation between us and yourself. It's an open parliament, free speech, no holds barred. Politics with KO is back.